A few days before Eid al-Adha, a father and his son went to the city market to buy a sheep for the big holiday. They bought a sheep that God made easy for them to get, and they took it back home. The sheep they got that year was the biggest one they had ever bought in years. It was huge, its horns were long, and its voice was deep and frightening. The family was overjoyed with this year's sheep. The father and son brought it home and placed it in a big pen outside the house. They cleared the space for it, removing anything that could hurt or harm it. They left it there to rest, bringing it food and water from time to time. They truly cared for it. But as time passed, the family started noticing strange things about the sheep. It began with its voice and the way it looked at them. Its voice seemed to change. Sometimes they swore it sounded like a deep, human-like voice, like an old man speaking. It was especially terrifying at night. And when they brought it food, its eyes looked strange, too sharp, too intense. Not like an animal's eyes. Sometimes it felt like it was staring straight into their souls. The young kids didn't like going near the sheep for some reason. First, their father had told them to take good care of it and not to forget about it. So they took turns bringing it food and water. But the father noticed something strange. The kids didn't want to go near the sheep. They said it scared them and it acted in a way that wasn't normal. Some of them said its stare wasn't natural. Others swore it tried to reach for them, as if it wanted to grab or hurt them. And if it hadn't been tied up, they were sure it would have attacked someone a long time ago. One of the kids, who was really scared, finally spoke to his father, hesitating as he spoke. "Dad, I wanted to tell you what I saw, but I was afraid you wouldn't believe me, or that you'd laugh at me. That evening, before sunset, I went to give the sheep water because I had forgotten to do it earlier. But when I got close to the pen, I saw it standing. Dad, it was standing on two legs. He didn't wait another second to look again. He ran away as fast as he could." His father didn't take the story too seriously, even though his son looked truly shaken. He just thought it was a child's imagination. But soon, the whole family would face something terrifying. One morning, as usual, they went to check on the sheep. To their shock, the rope was cut, and the sheep was gone. There wasn't a single trace of it. Everyone searched everywhere, but in the end, they told themselves that a thief must have broken in and stolen it. But just a few minutes later, they discovered something that would haunt them forever. What they saw froze their blood. The sheep was inside the bedroom. It was standing in front of a large mirror on the wall, just standing there silently, staring at its reflection like a human. The whole family saw it. No one moved. No one spoke. They were too scared to even breathe. The father finally stepped in, grabbed the sheep, and took it back outside. This time, he tied it up with 2 thick ropes to make sure it wouldn't escape again. They thought it was over. They thought the worst had passed, but they had no idea. The real nightmare was just beginning. The family says that on the night after that strange event, right in the middle of the night, when everyone was fast asleep, a loud, chilling scream echoed through the house. Everyone woke up in shock. The scream was coming from the daughter's bedroom. The whole family ran, panicked, to see what was happening. They found the girls huddled in the hallway, shaking, eyes fixed on their bedroom door. When their father asked them what was wrong, they could only cry and point toward the room. The father rushed to turn on the light, and what he saw left him frozen in fear. The sheep was inside the bedroom. It was lying next to the girl's bed. No one dared to move. Even the father, the man of the house, took a step back in terror. How did the sheep break free from the two thick ropes? And more importantly, why was it inside the girl's room? From that night on, the father made a decision. He brought a small bed and placed it right next to the sheep. He decided he would sleep beside it until aid arrived. He wanted to make sure it wouldn't hurt his family or do anything strange again. But later, the father admitted something. The nights he spent beside that sheep were the most terrifying nights of his life. He never told his family what really happened, but he said he had seen things that no human should ever see. Every night, he had horrifying nightmares, visions of giant snakes, strange creatures, and terrifying demons. Every single night he saw monstrous, twisted beings in his dreams. That's when the family finally understood. This sheep wasn't normal. It was possessed by something evil. When Eid finally arrived, it was a nightmare for the family. They couldn't handle the sheep. They couldn't even get close to it. In the end, they had to ask their neighbors for help. But the moment they tried to hold the sheep down, it went wild, attacking everyone with its horns. It was like it had the strength of a bull, not a sheep. After a long struggle, they finally managed to bring it down and complete the sacrifice. But that wasn't the end. The family tried to eat its meat, but something was wrong. The meat had no taste at all. And as you know, sheep meat always has a rich flavor. But this one, it was completely tasteless, as if it wasn't even real meat. That was the final straw. The family got rid of it completely, wanting nothing to do with it anymore. And that, my friends, is one of the scariest Eid al-Adha stories I have. Some people say this story is real. Others believe it's just imagination. What do you think? Have you ever heard a story like this before? Or maybe, have you experienced something similar yourself? Please share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoy my stories, this channel needs your support. Don't forget to like and share. And if you have a scary story you want me to tell, send it to me on my email in the description. This was Phobia. See you in the next story.